Welcome to this video. In this video, we will be discussing about some of the concepts around LLM engineering. First, we will start with prompt engineering. Prompt engineering, it's all about crafting a perfect question. For instance, asking the LLM to plan for the upcoming trip to Paris with a certain condition. On the other hand, we have a context engineering. It's like feeding the information to the LLM so that LLM can questions. So there are quite a few techniques involved in prompt engineering. First, we have a zero-shot prompting, which means that we do not provide any samples as a part of our prompt. And this is the most straightforward method. Here, like we are asking the LLM to write a Python function without giving any samples. And then like we have a few shots prompting. It's unlike a zero shot prompting. Here we will be providing some samples so that the LLM will understand better. Then we have a chain of thoughts. So instead of asking the straightforward question, we will be giving the intermediate steps before the LLM can come to the final answer. So here we say like I have 5 apples and eat 2 and then like I buy 10 more. So it's like a kind of a chain. I did this and then this and then this. So that's what the chain of thought prompt it's all about. Then finally we have a persona based. Hereby like we will be telling the LLM here like you act like that particular persona, right? So here we are saying you act like a master chef. Move forward, let's look into the context engineering. Long context window, which means that we will be feeding all the information into the LLM. There are pros and cons involved. The pros is that as the LLM has all the information, the response it's obviously going to be very quick. The con it's that as we are passing huge amount of data, the number of tokens used to process it's going to be then we have the rack. So instead of pausing every single information into the LLM, what we will do is that we will be keeping the LLM with a limited amount of information, and like wherever the information is needed, that will be passed to the LLM during the execution. This way, like we will be keeping the token usage minimal or optimal. The con is that as we need to go and get the information, it is going to take a bit of a time. So the overall execution, it's going to be the long context window. Then we have a structured input and output. In this case, like we will be letting the LLM know what are all the inputs are expected and what should be the output. Then we have a tools and agents. So as if LLM wanted to perform any action, then it needs a tool. And we have already discussed about multi-agent system, in which like one agent will be connecting with another agent and vice versa. Then we have a memory management. This is to keep the conversation. Otherwise, LLM it's a stateless. So if you want to lose your previous conversation, then you have to take care of your memory management. Now let's move forward. Now we have a vibe coding. So vibe coding, it's all about building your application without being a developer. So typically like you should know the technologies to build the application, but with the vibe coding, you really don't have to know the technology. Rather like you should know like what to ask and how to customize all of this, right? A number of tools that supports vibe coding. The first one, lovable dev, so using which you should be able to build your application just by typing your requirement, right? So the way you see the application, you can do the customization. It's again everything is going to be a natural language. Likewise, like there are multiple tools, lovable, bolt, replit, there are many other tools. Also we have a tools like a cursor and a codium. This using these tools, most likely you will not be building the complete application, like rather like these tools will be integrated with your IDE to enhance your code. Now we understand the difference between vibe coding, prompt engineering, context engineering. Let me summarize. Prompt engineering, it's all about asking the right question to the LLM to get the expected answer. In context engineering, it's like feeding enough information to the LLM so that it will respond back to your questions. Vibe coding, it's all about building the application without you really being a developer. Let's move forward. So it feels like prompt engineering, it's pretty straightforward and simple. The reality, it's not. There are advanced concepts that you should know to become a prompt engineer. That includes the memory management, guardrails, using the multiple tools, human bias, cognitive management, behavioral steering, token efficiency, evaluation, feedback loop, and then like we also have a dynamic prompting, persona, cross-model communication, right? That's why the prompt engineering itself, it's considered as a niche skill, and that's why like these people whoever it's involved in LLM engineering will make a lot more compared to the traditional developers or architect. For this video, thank you for watching.